The figure below is a circle with a regular pentagon inscribed. Now remember, when you see the word inscribed, the figure that's being inscribed is going to be smaller than the other figure, so we know the circle is bigger because it says that the regular pentagon is inscribed. It's inside. The vertices are touching the circle, okay? And now let's continue. The regular pentagon has an apothem of 4, and each side of the pentagon is 5. Find the shaded area. So we are subtracting. Now remember, the bigger figure subtracting the smaller figure is how you want to get your formulas wrote down. So pi r squared minus 1/2 AP. All right, if we know the apothem, make a little note. A equals 4, and P equals, if one side is 5 and I have 5 equal sides, 5 times 5, okay, that'll equal 25. Now I know these two. Radius is the one that we have to find. We know the apothem is from the center drawn perpendicular to one side. Remember, don't go through that. You stop at this side, otherwise you're referencing the wrong thing, because the radius is drawn from the center of the circle, end of the figure, the pentagon, to the vertex. Notice how it hits the circle. That's your radius. Now this segment here, represents it has several names. C for Pythagorean Theorem, hypotenuse in the trig. Now radius for circle. Okay, now it's being combined. All right, the apothem is 4. We know one side, this length here from here to here, is 5, and we have 5 equal sides. Remember to take one side, divide it by 2. That equals one side here. Okay, so that is 2.5. And we don't need trig here. And this is the thing I've been wanting you to make sure and understand, is that if we have a right triangle and we know 2 sides, we can find the third using Pythagorean theorem. And remember, if you know the legs, you square them in the square root symbol, square each leg, add them. Okay, so you want to add 2.5 squared in there. Go to your calculator. Now look right here, and we got a lot of decimals. All right, now I'm going to round this to 4.7, but I'm going to come back and arrow up and get all of those here in just a minute. All right, so on paper, I'm going to go ahead and write down 4.7. Now when I go up here, now remind myself to read again. Nothing in the reading said to do anything about pi, so I've got to use all of pi. So I'm going to keep pi in my equation here, and again, I'm rounding for sake of saving space on the paper, but I'm going to subtract, but I'm going to go up and get all those, okay, decimals I just showed you, and then 0.5 times the apothem times 25 for the perimeter. Okay, always make sure, when I need to go backwards, always make sure, did I get that down? Did I bring the radius down? Did I square that? Minus the 1/2, the apothem, and bring down the perimeter. Okay, now when you go to the calculator, I want you to get your pi, press enter, and we want to times radius. Now radius, we just calculated it right here, and we want to get those decimals. Look at all of those. Okay, square that. Now subtract the area of the pentagon. So 1/2 times the apothem, 4, times perimeter, 25. Okay, now that is this is when you're going to round to 19.9. Okay, and that's going to be meters squared. So the area is equal to 19.9 meters squared.